Hello everybody. So today I'm going to do a review and a little bit of guide for stuff for the Velo Orange Porteur front rack. So let's see. When did I get this? Last fall, I was sort of looking at possibly trying to upgrade my front rack system to, or try a different thing of having a more portiere kind of setup instead of what I'd been using for a long time, which is a sorely nice front rack, which has a very wide platform, very usable, very durable, very nice. But I wanted to give this a shot, just for the sake of being able to carry a lot of stuff. So this is the Velo Orange Porteur front rack. It is rated to 60 pounds. The second highest and the highest mainstream manufacturer weight rating that I found for portiere racks, which is funny considering that on a number of websites you'll find attestments to how people would newspaper transporters would transport 100 pounds of newspapers on their front racks, on these portiere racks, and it's like, well, then why doesn't anybody make them in that capability anymore? But I complain. So this rack, I would say, is handy, very functional, nice. The way it's set up is that this rail system actually attaches, attaches here with these screws on both sides, and the whole thing can come off. It can become a fully flat platform. I personally prefer to have it like this. And I've carried, let's see, cat food and cat litter bags, I believe up to 35 pounds on here. And you definitely notice the weight differential, like weight shift being a thing, but it works well. Main thing, if I were to just ask for things that I want, I would ask for a rail right here for being able to attach my panniers onto on the front, or even just up here, something below this, because this is really hard to mount panniers onto. The stuff just doesn't want to work that way. Yeah, that's the main sort of functional issue that I'd say I have with this. Beyond that, there is a little bit of a learning curve that you will need to go past in order to install this. So if your bike is the right size, the only thing you have to sort of manage is the attachment of this rod right here up to, from, standard front rack attachment point where your fenders attach, up to here, and let's see if I can get a good view. And it attaches to as many of these underside sort of little attachment points as you can get. Now, the way this rack comes is it has this little attachment point at the bottom. Now, when it first comes, I'm going to touch my rotor. So when it first comes, this hole will have two additional holes beneath it with, the accompanying metal. And depending on your wheel size, you will have to cut this amount down and cut off the surplus to make it fit right for your bike. There's not really any guidance on this on the Velo Orange website. It's sort of because I really hunted for it fast when I got this, and I expected I would install it in 30 minutes before a volunteering activity I had, and then turned out nope, was not able to do it in 30 minutes. It took 2.5 hours. So what you'll need to do is you'll need to hacksaw or grinder or whatever off the excess, unless your wheel size is the full amount that worked right down here. And then if you need to make it not hurt your frame, you'll need to use a metal saw, metal file. Come on, thing. Metal file to, there we go, sort of round off that corner, as you can sort of see that I've done there. Now, if you got the right tools and you get sort of prepared for it, that's not really that big of a problem, but it is a learning curve to it. And while this piece, if everything goes smoothly, is like actually not too bad to do. So for instance, when I went from my old bike frame to this new one, I like the alignment of this, like this rod comes straight normally, and the alignment of this relative to the rack, and for everything to work right, I had to bend the rod in order to make it all work right. Now I've had enough experience installing this stuff where I know that's a thing that happens and it's okay. When I first installed this, what I also had to do was, and every time you remove or, well, especially initially install it, you'll need to, unless you figure out the placements that these holes will work perfectly at, and then attach it all separately, which would be smarter, but not how life ends up working out a lot of times. You'll need to take off the wheel and the fender in order to be able to screw in this from underneath while attaching this, well, after attaching this and the bottom nut right here. And that's just how that ends up working a lot of times. Especially because getting into here sideways is a challenge even with the sort of ball end Allen wrenches, and it's not the easiest route to get on and off, but I'd say for the capability that you get, it is worth it. Personally, an upgrade that I will like to make at some point will be to get sort of wooden platforms underneath here. Oh, and how I actually carry stuff. So what I'll do is I have a couple different cargo nets, and I'll hook the hooks underneath here and essentially wrap sort of the square part of the net around this corner, and then it'll be hooked in around here, and that'll sort of hold something in the corner and then something in the middle, and I do a similar around the corner and to here or here around this piece of post on the front, and it works quite well. And the platform, if I get that put in here at some point, would be nice, because then I could put something on there like smaller items, like a pack of beverages that I don't have to worry about falling out of their container and flopping down and becoming a problem. So that's personal upgrades. I think the way they sell this is perfectly fine. Not having the platform, it's not a deficiency I'd call out on them. And it's something that'd be a cool upgrade for them to sell for like $10 that you could sort of buy as a accessory piece. Yeah, I hope this has been helpful and useful for folks. Remember, there's a little bit of finickiness to installing this, so be ready for that and just sort of roll with it. Thanks. Oh, and make sure to subscribe and let me know if you have any questions or concerns. Thanks. Bye.